Hey, it's Midnight Raven, and today we're looking at two new cases to the Last Photos Missing Persons series. Welcome to my channel. I am the Midnight Raven. This is a new series on my channel, and there have been 3 previous parts to this. If you want to check them out, I will link them. So today we're looking at 2 cases. One is Lars Mittank, and the other one is Spierer. So we're going to start with Lars first, and these are 2 cases where 2 people just seem to just disappear again. So Lars would call his mother on the phone saying that 4 men were coming to kill him, urging her to cancel his credit cards, and seemed very strange. So his mother would contact the police, telling them that their son believed he was in danger and that he needed help. So on telling the police what her son had told her, they tried to find and locate where Lars was. So, going back before we get to the details, the young 28-year-old Lars Mittank was of German nationality and had been backpacking with his friends. He'd been staying at a Bulgarian beach resort called Golden Sands, where he was hanging out with his friends. On the 30th of June 2014, he was involved in a physical altercation in a bar of football rivals and became engulfed in an altercation with 2 rival fans. During this altercation, he sustained injuries to his jaw and his eardrum. Unfortunately, due to the damage to his eardrum, a doctor suggested that he was not okay to fly home and that his friends would have to fly home without him. His friends, unfortunately, their plane tickets were already booked, and with the hotels they were already checked out of, the friends left Lars behind. So Lars was left behind and was made to check into another hotel as their booking was only for that short time. He then found another hotel to check into and was seen on CCTV acting and appearing frightened. By the 8th of July, he was very keen to fly back home, but Lars would not be flying home. He would make it to the airport for his flight, where he was assessed by another doctor to check he was able to fly home due to his fitness and that his ear had had enough time to somewhat heal. He was talking to a doctor, and at some point a man came up to him and intervened in the conversation, and Lars bolted from the scene. He was seen running through the airport immensely with a frightened look on his face and throwing his luggage to one side as he ran through the airport. CCTV catches him running through the airport and making it out of the airport into the open with no luggage. A few witnesses outside the airport remembered seeing him running out of the airport very breathless and seen running into a nearby woodland. Some believe he may have had a reaction to the prescribed antibiotics that he was given and that he may have been having a psychotic hallucination episode, which is a very rare effect to these prescribed antibiotics. Others believe that he may have got into some trouble while he was staying at the new hotel. Obviously, he was a tourist by himself and may have inadvertently got into trouble. Unfortunately, Lars was never seen alive again. There's no records of any sightings and no one has seen him since. After running into the woods, it is unknown what happened to him, and to this day there are still no sightings of him. No body has ever been found, so whether Lars was alive or dead after he ran into that woods, there is no evidence to suggest either. Lars Mittank still remains a missing person to this day, and hopefully one day we will find out the answers to why he was running through the airport. Was he spooked? Was somebody after him? Was it a hallucinogenic episode? We may never know these answers unless Lars's body is found or he is found alive and well. So So, moving on to the second case. Now, this is another curious case as well. So, this is another case about a missing girl who literally disappeared into thin air. So, Lauren Spierer, the last time this poor girl was seen alive, was captured mostly on cameras, which gives us some help in her case. So the final photo of Lauren, which you will see, showed her at 4:30 a.m. on the 3rd of June 2011. It showed Lauren walking barefoot from her friend's apartment over to her apartment. Lauren was a 20-year-old student who had been out that evening at Kilroy's Sports Bar in Bloomington, Indiana. She had been out with her friends and then they had gone back to her friend's apartment. Her boyfriend, Jesse Wolfe, did not go out with her that evening and didn't become a suspect in her going missing. So, the couple throughout the night were messaging each other until he fell asleep. During that evening, they were at the bar with her friends and he was messaging her on the phone. He then fell asleep. Now, Lauren's whereabouts are accounted for between the hours of 12:30 a.m. and 4:30 a.m., in which she was shown being at Kilroy's bar and then she was shown walking from her friend's apartment that night after leaving the house at around 4:30 a.m. After leaving her friend's apartment, nothing is known of what happened to Lauren. The path between her friend's apartment and Lauren's apartment, there would be found items of her belongings, including a purse she carried all night with her and her keys. So these were scattered en route between the friend's apartment and her apartment. So something happened to have happened on that stretch. So one of her friends called Jay claimed that when she visited him at his home at around 3:30, she had a bruise under her eye. She never said how she got it and he never questioned her on the bruise. Later that morning, Jesse had tried to contact Lauren after she left his house at around 4:30. He'd received a message from a member of staff at Kilroy's saying that Lauren's phone had been left at the bar. Lauren was then reported missing to the police and still remains a missing person with no leads, no body, and no one identifying any sightings of her after she left the apartment. With no sightings and no body, it remains a mystery on what happened to Lauren. Obviously, something happened to her because her purse and her belongings were left strewn across the ground between her friend's apartment and her own. But what happened after she left the apartment, there is no CCTV to show what happened. So, had she come to foul play? Had she stumbled drunk and hurt herself? There was no body found, so this is obviously not the case. But her stuff being scattered would suggest a struggle and maybe she was taken by somebody or someone. There is no evidence to suggest that her boyfriend played any part in this, hence the text messages and the phone pings proving he was at home at the time of her abduction, or the fact that she went missing between the friends' apartments. Jay, her friend, was also cleared of any involvement. So where Lauren is, whether she is alive or dead, still remains a mystery to this day. So if you want to support the channel, consider becoming a member behind the scenes or giving it a big thumbs up. It is free. You can also donate by PayPal for the time and research that goes into these cases. Unfortunately, Lauren Spierer and Lars Mittank are two missing people. Hopefully one day they shall find the answers to the questions of what happened to these guys and girls. At the minute, there seems to be no conclusion to these cases, and I thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Like and subscribe, and we'll have another lost person case coming very, very soon. Take care and thanks for watching. Bye, guys.